Topping the hour, we begin with more breaking news. Another big development within just this past hour on the conflict in Syria. NBC News confirms that the U.S. military will now withdraw all U.S. troops from Syria, not just from the front lines of the Turkey-Kurdish conflict. U.S. officials say Turkish forces are moving south, Kurdish fighters are moving north, and U.S. troops are caught right in the middle in increasing danger.
We also have learned in the last 24 hours that the Syrian forces the Kurdish forces are looking to cut the SDF are looking to cut a deal, if you will, with the Syrians and the Russians to counterattack against the Turks in the north. And so we find ourselves as we have American forces likely caught between two opposing advancing armies, and it's a very untenable situation. So I spoke with the president last night after discussions with the rest of the national security team, and he directed that we begin a deliberate withdrawal of forces from northern Syria.
Meanwhile, new evidence is emerging of alleged atrocities against Kurds by Arab militias. And here's a warning for you. The video is disturbing to watch, though NBC News has blurred the most graphic portions. The video appears to show Arab militias executing a Kurd by the roadside. This as they shout, Allahu Akbar. Multiple U.S. officials tell NBC News the video and photographs appear genuine. The militias, U.S. officials say, include al-Qaeda and ISIS supporters. Then take a look at this video. That's an ISIS prison coming under fire and detainees scampering for the exits. This was yesterday, just near the Turkey-Syria border. But today, hundreds more reportedly escaping under similar circumstances. There's a lot to discuss here with our team of reporters and analysts, so we're going to get right to it. Let's go first to you, Bill Neely, NBC's chief global correspondent. Bill's in Erbil. That is the capital of Kurdistan. Bill, what more are we learning about the withdrawal of these U.S. troops?
Yeah, very fast-moving developments today, and it does appear through multiple reports that U.S. troops are already on the move. This announcement from Defense Secretary Mark Esper was something of a surprise. He said the president made the decision last night, and it was because it would appear the U.S. was in some way misled by one ally, Turkey, which now says it's likely to move further south and further west than it had originally said. And the other former ally of the US, the Kurds, have now reached out to Russia and to Damascus. And indeed, there are reports coming from Damascus that Syrian troops are likely to move into the Kobani and Manbij areas within the next 48 hours. Now, that is obviously a huge boost for President Assad. He hasn't been around the Kobani area for years. It's obviously, of course, a huge boost, all of this, for President Putin. This is a gift to Russia. President Putin is getting exactly what he always wanted. He's getting Syrian control of the northeast of the country, or at least parts of it, and he's getting U.S. troops out of Syria. It is also, of course, a boost for Iran. And just one other thing worth mentioning, we can talk about those reports of atrocities which are coming in. There was an interesting news conference from or address from President Erdogan of Turkey today, in which he appeared to rebuke the United States. Remember, the U.S. had threatened economic sanctions against Syria. Erdogan said those who think they can make Turkey turn back its offensive with these threats are gravely mistaken. So, in terms of U.S. diplomacy and foreign policy, today isn't a great day, Alex.
Okay, you know what, Bill? I'm going to use a tweet that you put out here, and you use the brevity of Twitter to pretty succinctly put out your thoughts on this. If we can have our director put this up on the screen, I'm going to read it. Breaking, U.S. Defense Secretary claims Turkey is likely to expand its attack further south than planned, and that Kurds are trying to ally with Russia and Assad for help. U.S. misled by one NATO ally, and now its former ally, is hooking up with Russia. Diplomatic failure, almost military humiliation. You chronicled what you're saying there, but that last phrase, diplomatic failure, almost military humiliation, about whom are you speaking?
Well, it is extraordinary that, U.S. warplanes bombed Kobani for such a long time to try to get rid of ISIS. And they did so in conjunction with with Kurdish forces on the ground, and they took Kobani. Now U.S. forces are pulling out not just of Kobani, but from that entire area. It does not, the optics of that are not good, and it's obviously not looked good right from the beginning that the US is walking away from its ally, the SDF, the Kurds. The Kurds are screaming betrayal, but now it would appear the US is pulling out from the whole area. And as I say, I suggest that is a win for Assad, it's a win for Putin, and it's a win for Tehran.
Okay, well explained. Thank you so much, Bill Neely. We appreciate that.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me, or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.